When you're a high magnitude individual with an even grander vision, you first must complete an initiation. Otherwise, you will never be able to build according to the vastness of your vision without consistently experiencing structural failure and collapse. Before you watch this video, make sure you watch the video titled, What is Wealth? Wealth as Circulation and Containment, not Accumulation, so you can understand the foundation of what I'll be speaking about today. Anyways, hello, I'm Naomi Olatayo, and I am the Wealth Priestess. I awaken and initiate governors, unprecedented leaders, and originating founders into their wealth, and I give them the blueprints to execute their destinies. I am here personally to help you stop trying to shove your 100 million gallon vision into a 30 million gallon containment so that you can finally build the architecture that can hold the full scale of your magnitude and the sheer weight of your vision. Anyways, let's get back into this video. I believe we often downplay and underestimate the magnitude of our visions. I know we do, because I did the same thing. So we end up venturing into execution unprepared and with a lot of structural incompatibilities and failures. And then we collapse, and it hurts our confidence, it hurts our pride, and it's this vicious cycle that we seem to not be able to outrun. As a high magnitude individual, someone building something completely unprecedented and ahead of its time, someone materializing their life force, which is their wealth, into physical reality, you are undertaking a huge task. I need you to understand that. You're undertaking a huge task. This requires your vision's first containment to be A1, to be pristine, to be so structurally sound. And that first containment is you. If you yourself lack the structural stability and compatibility to materialize this vision will collapse you. And you've been experiencing this collapse over and over and over again. It will fry your nervous system, it will distress your mind, it will overwhelm your body, and you will be crushed by the weight of its demands. This is why this vision has caused you so much pain in the past. This is why it has injured your pride and wounded your confidence so much. Your vessel, unless you go through the wealth initiations, which I'm about to talk about, is currently inadequately sound enough structurally to bring this vision into full form without it destroying you. We see this happen all the time with child stars, with people who rise into fame or success super quickly. We see the same thing. They begin to collapse from the inside out, and we see them on some health retreat, some wellness retreat, like 6 years later, with some shamans crying over them and sprinkling water, and them heading to some foreign country to find them. You know what I mean? It's the same corporate pipeline. Trying to materialize from your womb, which is where this magnitudal vision exists in, takes a tremendous amount of power and energy. And that requires for you to be strong, stable, and structurally significant enough so the materialization process can complete itself without you collapsing in the midst of it. Your wealth initiation is a 6 to 24 month process that builds the internal infrastructure for your vision to be materialized through you sustainably without collapse. It's triggered by your consent to enduring the full duration of the process. And it's governed by your own unique wealth rhythms. If you haven't already, definitely watch Wealth of Circulation and Introduction to Your Wealth Rhythm before you finish this video, if you haven't already. Just want to put that out there. So this 6 to 24 month process is the initiation into your wealth, which is the building of the fundamental foundation through which the entire magnitude of your wealth will sit on. Again, remember, the first containment of your wealth has to be you, and it has to be strong enough to survive the labor of it, which is why, again, if you're a woman, you know how dangerous it is to give birth. We see all the time women losing their lives, risking their bodies for children. So do you think it's any different to do the same thing but on a metaphysical, spiritual level? Is not that much different. If you're not careful or sound enough, materializing your vision could kill you. It could drive you mad. So a lot of times we think about following our dreams, excuse me, and we don't really recognize like what that means. It's a commitment. It's a commitment to express what's in you, to come out of you. It's a cost. So during this 6 to 24 months, and I got that 6 to 24 month time frame based off of many things, but I talk about it more in my July 19th transmission, the Originator 12 cycle, which is all the link down below. But yes, the process from that time frame includes a few things. Demolition, which is tearing down the internal structures that are structurally incompatible with the full scale of your materialized vision. The clearing, which is clearing ground zero of all the rubble and debris from the demolition. And then, of course, the digging, which is marking the surface area for the foundation, and the pouring, which is laying down the very concrete the entirety of your empire will sit on. This is a very involved and intense process. You will not come out of that time frame the same. You know how you have to have permits to build certain things, and the state, the town, whatever, the zoning can deny you of whatever you're trying to build? God is the same way. The universe is the same way. They will not authorize for you to build to the level you have been called to build unless the engineering is sound and safe. And if you do it anyways, there are consequences, just like there are on Earth. When you are a person of magnitude, what you're called to build is destructive if it collapses. It has consequences on a global scale. It's like the collapse of a skyscraper is so much more dangerous than the collapse of a shed in the middle of nowhere. That's why the code is so specific. And we even saw, like, with the Twin Towers, like, they were brilliantly built. And so the devastation that should have happened didn't happen because the engineers were so wise in their foresight. And they stuck to the code. So if you build out of code, and imagine if you built the Twin Towers without the code and it just collapsed, like it would have just blown up or toppled over a bunch of other buildings. You get the point. Your wealth initiation must be completed before you go to the building phase. If you try to skip it, one of two things will happen. Either you'll be in this rat race of never getting your idea off the ground, or you'll build so unsustainably that there is an inevitable collapse. It's not a matter of if, but when. And we see it happen all the time, especially in child stars of Hollywood. So if you felt stalled or unnecessarily blocked from creating the results you've been looking for, that's why. For high magnitude individuals with God-given visions, your wealth initiation is mandatory. That's why I am inviting 25 unprecedented leaders, trailblazing founders, governors, and originators to my live transmission titled The Originators Wealth Cycle. My Originators Wealth Cycle is my 3.5 hour long structural diagnostic and mapping transmission built exclusively for those with high magnitudes and visions of an even greater scale, and who have outgrown every traditional framework because their vision has simply outpaced it. And they call for an exact map for materializing the uniqueness and the magnitude of this vision. This is what this transmission is for. By the end of the session, you will have the blueprints and the map to navigate the entirety of that initiation. If this is something that you know you need, if you know you need this map and you've been in this loop forever, or if you're at the threshold of another collapse, click the link down below and make sure you join us July 19th at 4 p.m. Eastern. You belong in this room. You know you're meant to be there. And I'm very excited to have you and host you there. But anyways, I am the Wealth Priestess, and I thank you so much for joining me today. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.